Hello, 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 and I'm back. This is Jolene with the Jewel Design, and we are into a digital reveal and a little journal with me today. I didn't just want to show you my newest kit, but I sort of wanted to get it started for me, since I am in need of a December daily for this December, and I'm actually going red and green. Who knew? The first time I ever did a December daily, it was in blue. It was my blue snowflakes. The second year I had created a red and green. Actually, I take that back. I had created a red and green kit. I think I did it as a ringed binder journal, and a ringed journal, not so much a binder. But yeah, I did Christmas at Your Doors. I think my second year, and but I had made it early and then was ready to go, so I had it last year. I didn't have to make one. Well, this year I don't have one. I don't have one prepped. I don't have one made. So I decided to come up with this vintage Christmas greeting journal kit. My digital kit, you can purchase it on my Etsy shop now, and print it out to your liking, what you need, how much you need. And so I thought today I would show you my newest kit. I keep saying vintage greetings, vintage Christmas greetings, but it is vintage Christmas greetings digital journal kit. About 27 pages. Yeah, about 20, I think 26 with a bonus of a distress page on the back, just because I felt like with our ephemera, some people like to distress the back, some people don't, put it on really like creamy paper or whatever. I wasn't sure how grungy I wanted to go with this. I feel there's a lot of cream already in it, so I didn't think I wanted to add any more. And cards, I have a 65-pound cardstock, which isn't super thick, but I didn't have anything really a cream that I would have liked to have that on the back. So I went ahead and added one of my distress papers to the kit so that you guys could just print it at full capacity in the back of anything you needed. So thank you so much for subscribing, liking, loving, commenting, hitting your notifications so you know what's going on at all times. Because you never know, I either have a lot or nothing at all, right? It's just, feast or famine, as they say. So we're going to start off with the pages, as usual. Now, we have a lot of people who are doing a lot of vertical, hold on a sec, guys, sorry, vertical journals, vertical skinny journals, folio flip journals. But I still love my horizontal 9x6 journals too. So I am getting into the habit of sort of creating half and half. You get some of your horizontal ones where you can fold them in half, and add them to a standard journal, like Gail Augustinelli does. But then there's also some vertical, to, maybe play both pieces a little bit, and do a taller skinny journal, and then use these guys for some of those flip outs, those papers, those pages you have to cover. You can actually use some of the horizontal. So hopefully it's going to go both ways. I am making a standard horizontal 9x6 journal. I have enough pages that I think when we're done, it could be a 2-signature book. So I'm going to probably need at least a half inch to 1 inch binding on it, so I can sew both signatures into it. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So let's start with this first. So those of you who just want to do a digital reveal, you can see what I got going, and then you want to see what's up and how I'm debating on making this, then you can continue on with me. All right, so here's our first main page. Is a nice cluster and collage up the sides, and down the middle of the elements that are within the kit. I have found a bunch of Christmas greeting cards, Christmas postcards, I think they're most greeting cards, but it was on the New York Public Library free of charge. And so I'm really stoked that I could find some new images, since I know we have a lot of these, a couple of these from Graphic Fairy Easily. If you have her membership, she's found a few, and they're in her collection, but I know she didn't do all of them that I'm aware of. So I went straight through, New York Public Library and grabbed them and pulled elements from them and just had fun with it. And then whatever else I had in my stash of imagery. Plus, the background is created by me, so it's collaged and layered up. So we get some originals to go with it. So this one's great when you fold it in half. It's a great addition for a pretty edition that you don't have to journal on. And I did back some of these with the lighter version of my collaged, this collage is in the horizontal and in vertical. The vertical is in full color when the horizontal is definitely lighter. But it's a great background. The whole point, too, is when I saw all these lovely journal cards, I thought of all the collaging that people have been doing lately in so many ways. So I thought, what the heck? So you have 2 collage pages. that have all these lovely items. Some of them are old, some are new, or they're all old, but some of them are new to me. I didn't have them before. Others I've used bits and pieces before throughout the years. So, it was nice to sort of like bring it all together. Now for me, I did back each one lightweight so that if I want to do belly bands, pockets, anything brighter, this is just nice and light, and that whatever ephemera I put on it will definitely stand out. Here's my second one. Definitely, this one does come both in a horizontal here and in a vertical concept too, as you will see. But again, clusters in the corners, great when you fold it. Both ends get a little bit of holly. And in this case, this one ended up with a little bit more red and green on that side. But I love this cluster. It's one of my favorites. He is one of my favorites for an old school Santa. I just love him. So he is pretty prominent in this kit. But I did find a wonderful new image with Santa and some kids driving the prettiest little car all decked out for Christmas like they're going to be in a parade. So I really did like that addition this year. Here's your second collage page, where I had a really weird gap, so he did become front and center. So you fold it, he doesn't get cut off. I don't want to fold him quite yet, but we'll do that in a moment. Where, yeah, he's definitely on this side of the page, facing inward, of course, depending on how you fold it. Now, this could be a great middle signature piece, just because he is sort of prominent on one side. And you could put lace and a flip out or something to really enhance the middle of this without, worrying about maybe, intermixing with the collaged pages. But then again, you could take the collaged ones and cut them up and make 50 million other things out of them too. Whatever works for you. I swapped those. Okay, hold on. We'll get to those pages in a minute. I wanted to show you. So, anyway. So, with that, you have, like I said, so we have, 4 horizontal, 2 decorative, and 2 collage pages that are horizontal, which are great to fill in your journal. And then I did do the vertical versions. So, actually, I started out with a vertical and ended up going, well, duh. You create them sort of side by side, so let's make it horizontal. But in the meantime, you also have a lovely vertical version. So, if you really want to do a skinny journal under the folios that Lorette makes, this is a great cover or inside piece. And I did back it with that darker background page where you can see everything a little bit more with the red and green on it. You can actually see the pine cones and the hollies and all that stuff with the writing over it. And there's, just layers of stuff. Oh my goodness. But I created this one vertically too and went, well, what do we do? And I'm like, well, and I turned it horizontally. Where I just turned the words around to where they stayed sort of horizontal. And it worked really well for your, lighter background. But there you go. So you have a vertical version to one of the clustered horizontals. I went ahead and relaid out some of the, and this is not like clipped and parts of, it is a different arrangement. I did the collaging of this, again, vertical, folded down the middle. You do have Santa on the top there. You have her up there. And I loved this sort of little saying here, so I did pull that out and use it, along with other things. Then you have the other side where you have Santa and the Merry Christmas, but I did flip it to where it's on the right side. In this case, so that was an idea from Lorette, because she's like, well, if it's on the back side and you're making a folio and this sort of has to be that one of those pages, he's on the back side, so it may not be as exciting unless you wanted this and you really wanted to, decorate it somehow. But we decided to put both clusters on the right, so when you're doing these skinny folios, you have this great cluster either way. And then you have a secondary collage page. This one's definitely a little lighter, a little more gold tinted to it, a little bit more elegance in its own, right, and not as dark for a vertical collage page. And what started the whole process, besides finding all those wonderful greetings, was the fact that I needed a December daily. And so I thought, well, you need journal pages. So we have these textured line pages squared out so you know exactly where to write. But you can still have some background. I took one of the collage pages and put it behind this one. With that darker one on the back. So for me personally, I have two, one page where you have some blank with a little bit of a stamp saying on the bottom. But you have some blank page to glue photos onto, greeting cards to it. Like, you could do whatever you want, sort of more artsy on this page, but you have a printed side on this end. And I did back every one of my line pages with this one cream sort of base page, so that I could, if I wanted to, start on this day for the date and flip it to the next side and have that continuation, whether it's notes that I'm writing, whether it's a photo, I have, birthdays. I have, Christmas, of course. We have holiday vacations. We have all kinds of things we do that I may want to continue to document to the next page. So personally, I backed this on each one of them. It did double my page numbers, so I realized I'll talk to you about that later. But so here's journal page number 1, then journal number 2, where it takes some of the great elements, lays them over. You get the writing in the back, but you've got some decor in the front. This may be one of those better, like this might be a really great one for the Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. And your third one is definitely the hollies. We've got postcards and hollies and the greenery just exploding around the back. So you have a little bit overlapping the pages, but you're not like as much as before. But they're nice and vibrant, really grab your attention where you can just write on them if you want, and document, the day in question. Like I said, I put that on back. So you have 4 journal pages technically, 3 lined and 1 plain, or 1 non-lined, so you can do as you see fit. So there we go. 4 journal pages, 4 horizontal decorative collage pages, and 4 vertical decorative and collage pages to work with. So there's 14 right here to get you going, which I have a feeling is going to be more than enough that we're going to need. Or I'm going to need. I went crazy printing and realized I may have overdone it. I think I'm going to have like 60 pages to work with without including any of the decoratives. So I definitely have more than enough to work with. Then we go on to our ephemera, and here's 12 pages, 13 if you count now the cream that's on the back that I did add to the kit so that you had something to back things on if you want. If not, hopefully you have other images. I do have like this image in other packets from other Christmas kits. It was sort of nice because I took actually some elements from other Christmas kits that I had created and just sort of added to them. I had some nostalgia, inspiration, muse, I don't know what, when I was first creating these, that I was, here's your greeting cards, make them your journal cards, but I sort of went crazy with your medium journal cards. These are usually my large ones. They're a little smaller, but you have a backing, you have a border, you have a backing. I know, I went crazy. So you could cut this and make them cards. You could cut the journal cards around to just see a little bit of this. You could cut this whole page out, leave the border, add it onto something. I'm hoping there's elements in here that you will be able to feel like you can, like, I don't know, add to. I know it's odd for your journal cards. It's a lot of extra ink, but I don't know. Something just hit me and I created them this way. So you can either cut these out completely, then hold on to the strips, use them as belly bands, but be creative. So we'll see what I do with them. We'll see how many. I have 3 pages of them, so we have definitely ways to play with it and see what happens. We'll see, right? I didn't want to perfectly line things out, but at the same time, it's uneven, so we'll see. I love it. I mean, I love the pages. I just didn't know what to do with them per se. So they're in the ephemera, and you could print them as your paper. Anyway, my printer started doing weird things. I noticed as we were starting to do stuff that just right now, I'm noticing I have print lines in mine. One of my printers going. Eek. I know it was starting to run out of ink. Like I got 3 pages in to my journal paper side, and it was like ink low. I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't print everything with low ink. But I mean, you could turn it sideways and put it in the journal. If you didn't want it as a ephemera, print it on the nice paper, back it with one of the things. You can make it a page like you would do like with an Edith Holden. You can cut them out for ephemera, whatever. I'm going on. I just feel like, eek, there's potential. We just have to figure it out as we play with it. So there's 3 pages of these so that you can see all the greeting cards that I found. So you have access to all of the greeting cards that I found, so you can just cut them out and use them as you see fit. Yeah, I'm wondering if my cartridge heads are having issues. Interesting. And then we do go into my standard stuff. So we have the 6-up journal cards usually, but I really just only had about 5 images that I wanted to play with, so I did just put here some belly bands, or not even belly bands, like mini belly bands. These would actually fit in a skinny page. So this would be a belly band or a trim or a border to a skinny vertical journal. And then you have a standard, what is this, new squared, cornered pockets that, they were to try to attempt to create a while back. To see, she had inspiration from another kit and went, oh, well, this just, make it work. So it does get plopped in every so often. And then as a sort of a fussy cut concept, I did make these things a little smaller than my usual cards, right? Kept them too, because these are definitely wider than these. And then a little longer, so wider and taller than they normally are. So you got to get these smaller pieces to use to tuck into places, into pockets and belly bands. And then I created a, sort of a extended rounded belly band here for you, where you can just sort of fussy cut around the outside here, and you get a more decorated belly band. Put your favorite word, add another point, maybe add a physical poinsettia for a dimension. If I don't even know if anybody makes paper poinsettias, or if a Christmas paper, is it Claudia that makes her floral flowers? She may do some Christmas ones that would be fun to put on top of this. Just give yourself some dimension and some multimedia feel. But I like the fact that we had these smaller ones, and so I thought that'd be a good addition for tucking into things. You have your triple journal card. I always do the larger tags that you can just cut as one big piece, fold it in, make it a standalone ephemera piece, tuck it into a large page for a lot of writing space. Another sort of a washi belly band. You have your my standard, more medium journal cards. On these, I did not put them close enough to do it as a quadruple fold type thing. I made them all separate. I wanted to, again, showcase the greeting cards themselves, but they weren't big enough, so I put some base pieces to the bottom of it so you could layer here and not really block the gorgeous cards themselves with a little fussy. You got to cut out for him, and you got the wreath here. I didn't do a lot of fussy cuts per se on this one because there wasn't a whole lot of elements that I use that we don't already have hundreds of. Every kit I have a number of these things, so I didn't go crazy in that department. But you do have a few, things like some of my coins. You have some tickets. You have a few little things here and there that are more embellishments than a fussy cut. We did my file folder. We did 2 corner pockets. They are not my overlapping ones. I didn't have more. I didn't know if I want to keep adding so much more of this as a background. So I figured I'd just give you 2 collaged corners. You can use them as you see fit, wherever you want. And the larger 4-flap envelope that holds usually all my large cards. Of course, in my background with four tickets here on the bottom. And just to even it out, like I said, I have 12 pages plus background. I did give you a tall pocket tag assembly here. So we have the background. We have the pocket with take the window, go ahead and take the window out because he sits beautifully in here when you do it, and you have your tag to tuck in. So of course I definitely made sure I put it on the backing so that this card had space on the back with a nice coloring to write on. It'll be pretty pale. You won't be able to tell until you put it up against white, of course. So distress it really good, and you've got a great place to write on. You could even do this. No, I wouldn't say though. I was gonna say you can almost do this as a fold-out window thingy, but then things may not stay tucked in. So yeah, no. So I'm looking forward to doing this and adding it to one of my pages, and getting that added to the folio. Then you do have a coin purse pocket down here, couple flags, 2 large labels. That one's definitely horizontal. This one could be horizontal or vertical, I think. Even though the bells are on their side, I think it could still be a horizontal with a cute little tab. Like I said, I love her. She was just the sweetest look. And as a bonus, you guys got the 1 through 31 single. These should be the 1-inch hole punch numbers. I went ahead and added them. Now I do have a whole Christmas kit, a holly and garland numbered kit that has much larger numbers. If you wanted a larger number to work with, it all depends on you, but I do have these. So I wasn't sure. These definitely had, these were released with the Christmas Joy kit last year, where you had the puzzles, not the puzzles, the gifts, the collage pages, the holly, a lot of holly and poinsettias everywhere. That definitely went along with both the poinsettia kit, the Christmas at Your Door. It had elements from Christmas Joy. See, so we had a lot going on, and there is this kit where it has all of the larger numbers from 1 through 31, and this kit and this page included. But I figured, being nice and simple and easy, sorry, my head's in the camera there, we could go along with just the simple 1-inch punches to put in each corner of our ordeal. So they all should fit just inside the 1 inch with very little white, hopefully. You can just distress out that white when you're done. And then you get 2 more washies of the holly mix that I made with a green background, just for a little extra oomph. And there's an empty one. So if you wanted to put a 20th or some kind of number in there for an anniversary, a date in there, something you wanted to emphasize, you do have a blank one just to keep it even. So there you go. So we have 13 ephemera pages. You have 14 of our digitals. A lot going on. Started with, looking for these guys and finding like I said, a whole horde of them, and just going along and making a full journal kit out of it. I was really stoked. I didn't know what I was going to do. I wanted a December daily. It wasn't quite working the way I expected at first, and then poof, you find your graphics and, away you go. So if you are done, that's great. You got your digital reveal. You know what's up for sale in my Etsy shop. If you're ready for Christmas, I know people are just slowly starting to work towards the possibility. Gail Gustinelli is organizing herself for Christmas after she's done her fall kits. So she's getting ready. I know others are doing, Dee Dee Fargo is doing her sort of junk mail, what you have in your stash, tags and cards and stuff that she's getting, to help you get ready for Christmas. And there are a number of others who are just starting to reveal the new packets of papers that are out. So I figured it was time to get going and get on the bandwagon and show you what I have to go to. So thank you so much if you're done. If you don't want to go on to the more journal with me, it's okay. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, liking, loving, and subscribing. It means the world to me when you guys chime in and you watch the videos. I'm so happy to start seeing my video views increasing. I know you don't watch a lot of it or all of it, but I do appreciate just peeking in, seeing what's going on, and hopefully it leads you to the Etsy shop and you can investigate what I have going and see what fits your needs. So thank you so very much. I appreciate it all. We'll see you later. Now, for those of you who want a little journal with me, let's go at it and see what we can do. Let's see what we can accomplish. Because I have exactly about 40 more minutes to go. Woohoo! So reveal in 21 minutes. It seems to be my new thing. So on the journal with me side, I got a little crazy. I have my pages, right? I have my 4 here. We have the vertical, which I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with them yet. I do want to do something fun. I just don't know exactly what. I don't know if I'm going to make something separate. Maybe I'll make a separate little skinny journal flip thing. I haven't been able to sit down yet with Lorette and figure out how to make the bases for that. I think I have everything I need. I think I have the envelopes and the paper and stuff like that. So I'm sorry, I heard something that was weird. But I need to get the base put together and then I can see. So maybe I'll make a small, a pretty simple flip folio journal thing with the tall ones, and then we can sell that off to you guys for someone who wants one. So maybe we'll do that. I thought about doing something where I could add to this, but I think I have so many papers already. Like, that journal would be crazy. And I'd be cutting something off, I think, to do it. So I'm not sure if I want to add these in yet. But there'll be a project with that, maybe just off to the side, and they'll just be up in my Etsy shop out of nowhere. But here's where I got a little crazy and went berserk. As I mentioned, I have the 3 line journals, right? So I have 3 pages, which is 6 total to work on. And I put this on the back, so that when I get to the back side of the next round, I start sort of flipping it around, which is the only thing I didn't realize is a little hard. You always want something on this end, and when it's folded, it works. But we get to the back side, it's going to be interesting how these are on the other end. And I'm going to have to flip, I think, a page backwards. So anyway, the whole point was I went ahead and did enough to where I had 30 line pages, right? 30 line book pages. So that means I also had 30 blank pages. So I have 60 pages to write on for the month of December. We are definitely going from the 1st to the 31st. And truthfully, I start out my December dailies with the Thanksgiving weekend. From Thanksgiving weekend to the 1st of December, I have my first few pages are all about us prepping for Christmas. So we have a whole tradition we do after Thanksgiving. So I know I'm going to use a few extra pages that way. And I have to be really careful how I do it because December 1st is usually talking about what we did for Thanksgiving. And this year, I think Thanksgiving is like on the 24th again. Or really, it's sort of early, I think. Because the 17th is my husband. So yeah, the 24th is Thanksgiving this year. So it's really early. It's like 6 days before December 1st. So don't be wrong. It's going to take me and the girls all 3 days, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday after their Thanksgiving break, at the end of their Thanksgiving break, to even make a dent into the take down Thanksgiving and put up Christmas. And there's still going to be plenty. So like they're going to go to school and I'm still going to have probably at least half the inside of the house to still decorate. We'll be lucky if we get lights, Christmas tree, and Thanksgiving put away, I think, in those 3 days. We'll see. We'll see if they're going to be good and help me since we don't have that extra set of hands this year. So, but it's a big deal to us that we're continuing on with traditions. We're decorating differently. Like, one of the girls usually helps with the village. One girl helps with the outdoor, like, things on the ground. Samuel started doing it the past 2 years, help going up the ladder to work on the lights. So there's things like that, which I'm glad we started, and they're really going to have to help me. So I do have 60 pages, which I figured 1 page to write on and 1 page to put photos, memorabilia stuff on the second side for the same day. So each right-hand side would start the next day, hopefully. So I have more than enough of these pages. I went ahead and cut them all. I have 2 sets that are cut with the decal edge on the sides and straight across the top, and then 3 sets that are deckled all the way around. I like for the idea of the writing side that we have sort of this ripped edges, and we'll interplace flat pages, vellum, dyed pages inside it with ruffles and other things to really get going. So yeah, I was like, I need to get this going. This is the last page to fold because I didn't want to fold them. But as you see, I have all these pages ready to go until we get to the middle. And that's where it flips and they're side by side. So that's not bad, but it makes me wonder, like, oh, do I want to flip them around to where are they side by side? But I don't think it works that way because, it works this way. We're going to think this through because I'm like, I'm a little like, we were doing this to where I have it all on one side. And I'm like, well, it's great until you get to the middle of the book, which is about 15, I did print about 15 pages. So 7 pages in, 8 pages in, we have to flip it around. I don't know. I'll flip them. I'm going to print them all this way first, but fold them, but we may have to, rotate them around to where I think if I want to keep it right, I don't know. Oh my gosh, now that I'm thinking about it. I wanted the right side to write on, and you would flip to the next page to see photos, but then I wonder if that confuses people. I just realized that. Not that, it's for me and the girls. It's not for anybody else, but still. Because, like, now that I see it, I'm like, well, I sort of like the idea of the other way around, but I have to have at least the front page. Let's see, the front page could be one of these. Alright, so this is going to be a total process video. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I want to start with this page or this page. I'm really loving that as a middle. So that I think we're fine. I love this one as a middle. As we were talking about it, I'm like, oh, I want that as the middle. But if I do it as one signature, I'm fine. There's my middle. Not that I couldn't do 2 signatures. Oh my gosh. Such thought process, because I know I have things like, I have a tall envelope, I have some tea dyed and coffee dyed papers, I have this extra sheet that I goofed on, so I'm going to cut it down the middle, and I think they're going to go on the inside covers of the book. It's because you always have cardboard, right? If I make it of fabric, which I have hopefully still a good chunk of, which I do, because I did it last year, I have a number of these fat quarters, I hope. I know I used a good chunk of them for, sorry guys. So I used a chunk of these last year. So I have these 3. I used them for my last cover, which I wish I had them down. I don't have them down yet. I squared them out and I quilted this concept last year. And this is really pretty actually for a cover. It's actually very, I would just then have to find all the gadgets to go on the front. And that'd be really a really good base. And then I could make a cover, what do they call it? I heard Gail use the wording the other day, but of course it's not sticking. It's like a large journal card, but you do something with it. So anyway, I will have to figure this out. If I have enough, and that's what I think. I don't think I have enough to cover a... Oh, I don't think that's big enough. Because I remember it has to be 9 tall, 60, which is 12. Let's see here. What do I have? Oh, maybe. Oh, no. Okay. because 6 and 6 is 12. No, where do we go? Yeah, 9 tall by 6 deep, so it's 12. I need 12. So I'm at, well, maybe. I know, this is a mess. So if I, a little, I actually go all the way to 8. So I have 18 inches here. Duh. A fat quarter is 18 inches by 15. So yeah, no, I have plenty. So I go 18. I could do a 1 inch thing in it. Oh, I could cover it. I could lay it. I could cover the. I could just Mod Podge it right onto the cardboard. I may have to put a little bit of tissue or whatever on the cover. My luck, I have a. I'll have to find the most neutral, like, cereal box I have, and we could put that on there, and then I could do that. I can't believe I can't remember the word, but anyway, I'll figure it out. Yeah, okay, so we have that potential. We were talking about stuff and I got sidetracked, but this is what I want to do. So I have bits and pieces. I know what I want to do. We've got that. We've got envelopes to play with. I always like doing my window envelope, like little ephemera holder on one of my pages. I thought this would be fun with the skinny and the tall one. But with this one, so on the inside, I knew I had to cut this in half, trim it off, and put it in there. But I have coffee dye to help with this, couple different coffee dyes to help with the spine, to cover up that area, to make sure we have enough room. So, okay, so we have that. We know that's the cover. That's some inside. Oh, and I have this. This is so yummy. It's like a vanilla coffee dyed page. And it's so funny why it's so dark right there. Huh. But I thought it was sort of pretty. It's not super Christmassy. It's not really much of anything. But I thought it would be a fun edged piece to one of these too. So, okay. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. But it's a process video. I've done this before with you guys. So, it's getting it started, and then, as we get through it. So right now, like, it hits here, and I like the idea of the written with this on the right. Oh no. I just don't know. Okay, so if I have that in the middle, that's fine. We have to decide if I want to make this my first page, because then that would allow me to... If I flip it, my first page, which is fine, greetings, good thing, right? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna, the word greeting is here, not a bad thing. Open it. Let's fold this in now. I'm gonna have to do some distressing on these pages, that's for sure. So some of these are still so white. All right, so we've got that. Next page is greeting, which I'm okay with. But then, how do we do this? It definitely changes the direction. Nope, that doesn't work. What am I? There we go. I'm like, what am I looking for? There we go. So it's that. And then, yeah, I think I have to flip these all around. So you go here and you do this. I really like the idea of, the only thing is, that means, well, on one side, it's all greetings. And on the other side, like on the back side, I think we're still going to go back the other way. I bet you. When we're done, I think it flips back around and it still has the same effect. So you go here and you put your middle in, right? And then you're back to where I started, where this is here and that's on the back. So no matter what I do, I'd have to make 2 signatures. But even then, on this side, it's just reverse. So never mind. It was a good idea, but I don't know. I guess either way I'm going to get it. So, though there's nothing wrong with starting out with a blank page to put photos or something here. It could be a note about the fact, we're missing that, first year without my husband and their father, and then go into this, and then part of me sort of wants, I don't know, right now, because I have an uneven amount of pages. So I have these 2 here. So each signature would have a middle section and that. And then I got to add other things into it. Okay, wait, oops. You belong somewhere. Where do you belong? There we go. I'm like, wait, you belong somewhere. And it is going to flip. It just is. If I have it this way the first time, then I'm going to get to the middle. Sorry guys, I'm probably keep going out of. And then you go back to the other side. This is just a great page, which is a perfect place to put something like, like a large decorative something right there. And then I go back to my original thought, which is I decor there and document on one side and memory keep on the other. Okay, so there's that idea. So what are we at? Let's see, we are at with a greeting with another note spot on the back side. So another note. Well, no, it'd be the back side of that. Never mind, it's on a note page. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 with a note there. 11, maybe a 12th page, even though there's not, could be a light. So 12 days, almost the first half of Christmas, right in the first one. Yeah, with a note here, and then a, like, day 12 is going to be like, well, you know, maybe there's not, sometimes there isn't, not much going on, just marking it. I get into my centerfold, maybe something happens, and I can put it in the pocket. I can always print a second, that blank one I have maybe goes number 12, maybe 12 continued, or 12, another 12 on it, and then I would start, well, that's not 12, what day is that? Oh, that's the other thing, I'm backwards. Oh, I hope this isn't boring, you guys have not just decided, but okay, so day 1, note of some sort, day 1, big deal about every, you know, December 1st, I got everything done, I'm tired as all heck, but we're all ready for Christmas, right? December 1st. Then the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, which is fine, because then I'm going to start on this side. This is the 7th, which is my daughter's birthday. Now, we are, of course, we're celebrating, I think it's like a Wednesday or Thursday is her birthday. So we're celebrating this weekend before with a family, I think, and the weekend after, the Saturday after, we are getting together. She gets to take a couple girlfriends to one of her favorite places, whether it's, you know, aquarium or the zoo. She has 2 spots that she loves all year round. It's just something we've done every summer, but have not been able to do. So her birthday's here. I can document it, right, with that, whatever we do for her birthday. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So I would definitely get, this first half would definitely get all of her birthday excitement in here in the first few days of whatever that are, you know, ordeal, right? But we get, this would mostly be, I think I'm going to leave that in there, mostly be her birthday extravaganza. Okay. First days, documenting the big deals and getting her birthday in here. As long as I keep the Christmas decor update to these first, like, sort of 3 pages. And I don't expand beyond that, where sometimes I do, so I gotta be careful. So, okay, maybe, potential. See, the fun of all of this. I know, who knows? I don't. Some people just, you know, the pages get thrown together and they're good, and we're fine, right? Now, I like this one almost better as a middle signature, because it might leave me some room to decide what to, like, with that space. Maybe I want to belly band and tuck something in to make it like even more expansion. So I think that might go middle this time. We'll make this, which of course my favorite ones are on the other side, aren't they? Yeah. Well, yes and no. Some of them are. I mean, it's still pretty big. Okay, so what if we do this on this side? Now, we end on this one on day 12-ish, right? And so we have day 12. If there's anything major going on, who knows? It may lead us into, well, the other, yeah, day 12, whatever's going on, cards, whatever, and then that, say, empty space that I could put just about anything on, belly bands, cards, whatever. So then we're doing, you know, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We'll go day 20. Wow, 2021. I do not need all these pages. That's 21, day 21, and then it's just day, well, no, it's not day 21, and then, notes, maybe going into something, maybe like a wish list, or bucket list, or Santa letter type thing. Maybe it's, say, what the girls wanted from Santa, which we still do, if nothing else. It's just one of those things where my oldest already knows that Santa doesn't exist, right? or he exists, but not in the sense of, hey, you know, Santa comes down the chimney. The youngest is still questioning it, and I may have to. I don't want to. She's 11. I don't want to burst that bubble too badly. Only about 2 years ago, about 14 years old, I had to finally sort of give my oldest a heads up, going, wait a minute. But I think what we're going to do is, even if I had to burst the bubble, like she just flat out, you know, questions it. If I had to burst the bubble, I still believe in the spirit of Christmas and Santa and giving and the joy of it and wonder of it all. So it's going to come down for the next couple of years where, you know, Santa is that one gift you can ask for with little to no stipulations on. Like, there might still be a budget on it, but I've always gone anywhere from $60 to $100. As they've gotten older, the number's gone up. Like, okay, I'll spend up to about, you know, $60 or $80 or $100 maybe. And it's the one thing they can ask from Santa that I won't question too badly, and I'm willing to, you know, that's your big present, that's where I'm going to put the money into, and then everything else is like needs or fluff or pretty or just fun stuff. It's sort of hard because I go crazy with Sammy, and then I have to divide it, like what's birthday and what's like Christmassy. So this may be a Santa list, a Christmas list, a wish list, could be a bucket list, something fun can go here, and then we can start with day 21 or 22, 23, 24, 25, which works pretty nicely on that end. And then I have 26, 20. I think I have the last days of the month to do whatever I want. Thank yous, lists, wishes, resolutions, whatever I want to do up to the end of the year. So definitely makes the second one a little thicker, but it definitely runs us into like the last week of school and all of Christmas break. And, you know, the joys, hopefully, of the actual holidays. So, all right. It definitely is broken into 2 sections. I think that's what we're going to stick with. I do like the idea of it. It is sticking out in different directions. There's not all the same size. I will go back and score each one of these really good, especially when it gets so thick. If you use, like, the bone folders on each one of them. This is a pretty, I mean, my printer paper isn't, I mean, it's good. It's good quality and it's thick enough. But if you do this to each page, it definitely flattens it, lines it up, and makes the bulk of the thing not so bad. A little crisper. And then since this is printer paper and good quality printer paper, it's not going to rip the moment I do it. So, I mean, already that is so much thinner. So I'll go back and do that to each one of those. It's a great way to reduce the bulk of your thing and line things up too, so these don't keep sticking out so far out. As you see, each page gets farther and farther out, which is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. So there's my front one. There's the second one. We've got, which is, look, I like it, Merry Christmas. We're getting into the holidays. And so I sort of divided it into like her birthday, beginning of the season birthday, and the Christmas break and actual holidays. So there we go. We've got 2 signatures. We've figured out a cover, at least the base fabric to the cardboard. And the inside, we know that we're gonna cut this, trim it, glue it down, use some you know, coffee dye paper to work it. I have this gorgeous green thing, which I think I'm going to hold on to this one. I think I'm going to need it as part of the flip out. I have 2 greens. I mean, I hate to cover green. I think it's going to be something where I want to put pieces on it, but let it stick out. So I think we're going to put this together, and I will create maybe a small little Christmas folio flip and try to get that out to you guys soon. So I may do that first before this, or together. We'll work on it. We'll see. I know me and Mom need to do something. I was hoping to make a autumn folio piece, but that's something I can work on at any time. So yeah, I want to be bouncing back and forth between autumn and Christmas. You know, whether it's autumn on my mom's side and Christmas over here or whatever. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the vintage Christmas greeting kit. Plenty of, you know, reprint for a December daily with the numbers, and you have great options. A couple pages in between. I will still add my vellum. I always do, because I like being able to put laces and weird things on them. I did not even put corners and pockets on them, surprisingly. Let's see. What do we have left? Really quick. Color-wise, what I have left. Oh, my goodness. Well, I've got orange up the wazoo. I guess I better get that into the other kit. That's blue and orange and white. I have that green, which I don't know, and I'm out of red. Oof. Oh, no. Well, maybe no vellum this year. I have a piece of red left. Oof. All right. Well, we've got red, but we have a gold. Now, that is really pretty, too, with all this coloring. The green is actually really, the gold's really nice. I think if I put lace and a I like doing the lace and fabric ruffles on these pages. Now gluing them down, you do see it on the back, so it bugs me. So maybe this year we will sew them right onto it. So, I don't know if I want to do the green is sort of, no. See, the red and the green I don't actually like. I think the red's too dark. It's going to get in the way. So I like, we'll use maybe the last two. I have a couple golds here. So let's pull that. I'll put a gold piece in each one. So I have a lace insert, lace or fabric insert, I should say. If I have anything left over, of course, from the, I'm actually running out of vellum. And, well, I have all this orange, and I guess I better put some of that orange on the other side. Pull a couple pieces of orange so I can put it in my, even if it is a folio, I love having my vellum. It's just like one of my, I don't want to say it's my signature piece, but I think if you buy, a journal from me, you'll notice that there's almost always a vellum. I hope I did that. I mean, I try. It's one of those random pieces. I don't have poppy dye. I don't have this or that. I have vellum. Who knew, right? I do have, that's hard. See, I do have that, which is on cardstock, which I did have something thicker. Huh. Could have printed some of my hard stuff on that, but that may be needed for the skinny journal. That may be really helpful. So, all right. Well, you never know. You have to keep looking. Always look at your stash. Always look at it 24/7. But I wonder if we could put this on the end of the gold, take off some of this, glue it on, and add a fabric ruffle over it. And I think we could have a really fun, extra piece to all of this. Now, the only downside is where to put it. Because remember, now we've got them side by side or front and back. So, it might be where I put it in the middle of this one because it's going to interfere with the, what's the word? With the writing. To have it, I have to maybe trim it down, to have it, sort of cover that, which is okay, because then it's just sort of, we've got this big old thing, you flip it over, I have this distressed and maybe there's something on it, you've got your middle, and then I was debating on, of course, like, putting something on this side before you got to this, and then you start over on the next side. So there's that potential. I think we'll do it on both ends. It does stick out right now, so we'll have to see if I'm going to trim it. Normally I trim it down so it fits inside here. It may not, I don't care if it sticks out, but I do care that it sticks out on the top. So I'll have to decide if I'm going to keep that in there or not that way. I normally trim them down. I don't mind them sticking out. I just don't know about it. Not across the top though. Not as big as I'm sticking out across the top. That is not as much my favorite. I don't know why. Because it's the only one that sticks out, so I don't know. I don't have anything up there to make it for a reason for it to stick out. So, and trying to get that to like, you don't want it on the bottom, but trying to get it to meet the middle is almost impossible. So same thing here. Again, yeah, I have a spot here where this is, it is the back here, so this is going to be a continuation of the other one, and then we start with the notes. I think I wish I had the right, I need to put the, where is my, I'm like, I need my notepads. I found the tiniest little, I found tiny little blue sticky note pad, right? And I was so stoked. And then now, when I was organizing something, of course, I was organizing something after or before or during the, funeral mess, and I have no clue where like it went from there. So I want to make notes. I just realized so that when I come down to it, I don't forget what I'm doing, because that would be really bad. So that's the extension of, but this will be the, we'll make this either the Christmas bucket list or like Santa's wish list, like wish list letter type thing. So we know we're doing that. I don't want to forget, so I don't go like, why do I not have that in the right spot? So we have that. So those are all numbered normally. These are going to be normal that way, then they're going to go that way, which is fine. And this one is definitely the second half. I think it's what, 13 through 31. Days 13 through 31. More vacation, and New Year's. Vacation, Christmas, and New Year's. There we go. Okay, so there's that. And we know that this one is going to be December 1st through the 12th. And it's, let's see, we're going to talk our Thanksgiving traditions and Sammy's special days. Because that girl isn't 16 this year. And without her dad, I'm like, nope, I gotta make the most of this, sweet 16 thing going on. She actually wants a birthday party after we finally had all of our family together for the first time in 3 years. I think first time in 3 years. She's like, I want a birthday. I actually want a birthday party. I actually want to see my family for my birthday. I'm like, all right. She wants it a Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, to go with that themed birthday party, which is a huge deal for us. We love Tim Burton. Their dad sort of introduced all of us to him and his animations, and so we start watching some of them this weekend and next. But Nightmare Before Christmas is our November 1st movie. We celebrate the anniversary of our house, buying it, and we sit on the floor or couch and order Chinese food and watch Nightmare Before Christmas. It sort of ends our Halloween season, and it sort of brings us into enjoying the rest of fall, but getting ready for Christmas. Since our Thanksgiving, literally, we're thankful on the day of, and the next day, bam, we get ready for Christmas. And because like this year, it'll be 24th, the 25th to the 25th, in the sense of like the 24th of November we enjoy Thanksgiving, and then the 25th of November we start Christmas, and we get a whole month to enjoy that. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I promise from here on out it'll be a little funner as we put in belly bands and ephemera and I don't know sure exactly where yet. I just realized there's not a lot of space for that. And it may be there'll be days where I come in and film the progress, show you how I'm doing, what I did to the pages, maybe how I did the memory keeping on the backside. We'll go through a day where we are creating that page for sure. And I'll see where else we have blank spaces like that to fill in these types of things. Maybe the sewing, the clusters or whatever. I'm showing you how the clusters worked on these pages, because they are on both sides pretty close to each other. So I don't know if I'm going to ruffle both of them so close. That is a worry though, huh? That is a bummer. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to have to get crafty with this. Because normally I would cover them. So I'm only going to cover one, which means the other back side's empty. If you're new. And I think I put that inside out. And I go, I think I did this. Okay, I better go, guys. We're going to go up and over, and it's going to take me forever to load. But thank you so much for being with me, watching me, going through this silly craziness. I know you didn't really learn much of anything except watching me fuss with my kit and showing you somehow, showing you a way to use it and all its craziness and its excitement. And I'm stoked to play with it and work on it. I will show you along the way the funner stuff, not so much the hems and haws of it all. And hopefully you'll craft along with me and you'll go get this kit and make the most of it for you and your needs. So have a wonderful day, a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.